My beautiful aliens, hello, and welcome back to the Authentically Blue podcast. I am your host, Carlson. It's currently 11:19 a.m., Thursday, the 6th of February, 2025, and happy 2020. What? Happy 2025, my beautiful aliens. That gives you an insight of how my mind is at the moment. More on that in a second, but I usually joke around and say my new year starts in February. I've been saying that for the past few years, partly because my course and my work usually starts in Feb, I know. And I just like that January is low-key like a tester run. You know, the January vibes. February is where things start picking up, you're getting into routines, you're doing stuff. So that's why I said that. In today's episode, we have a very authentic Rambles episode. And where am I? I haven't even said. I am in my parents' bathroom. There's a huge ass motorbike outside and it's doing my head in, but I think it's gone now. Yes, I'm in my parents' bathroom. I never thought I would say I'm going to record an episode in here, but low-key, the sound quality is amazing and I'm not mad about it. I couldn't record anywhere else. I usually record in my mama's car in the middle of the night or even during the day, but she took the car because she's running errands and she's selling the car. How frustrating. So I think I'm going to have to do intros for the upcoming episodes in the car for the nostalgic feel for season 3. But that is sad. I really wanted that car, but it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. I'm adjusting. It's her car. She can do what she wants with it. Next off, I couldn't record in my room because I have a garden next to my room and the grass is being cut, so sound wouldn't work out. And this is just the perfect place in the house to do the episode. I had an urge to record this episode for the past week and I tried to record it twice, I will not lie, and each time either I got too sleepy or something happened and I got interrupted. And I'm like, do you know what? I haven't uploaded an episode this week. I really wanted to do these authentic rumbles before I start doing guest episodes because I kind of miss you guys, and every time I have an urge to release an episode, I'm like, okay, this is what feels right for this episode. If you've been here since 2022 or 2023, you know that. Usually when something postpones or like an episode doesn't work out, it's because of some life experience I'm about to experience. And I'm like, my beautiful aliens need to hear this. Maybe someone somewhere in this universe might benefit from this. So let's dive in. I hope you gain inspiration from this episode. I hope you leave here feeling inspired and feeling less pressured and anxious about life. It all started 2 weeks ago or like a week and a half ago when I got a phone call from my uncle, and he was inspired. He was low-key inspiring me but also motivating me and giving me my flowers. He was basically like, you're very encouraging, you're very motivating, especially when he listens to the podcast. He doesn't feel pressure, like he wants to write a book, and yes, he is going to be a guest on the podcast. 2026, I know that's a whole year away, but it's coming and he will be a guest on the podcast. I can't wait to do an interview with you about your book. Are you listening? You better be listening. Other than minus that motivating bit, he was talking about how while listening to the podcast, he doesn't feel pressure or the stress or the guilt of not starting the book or what he wanted to do. And he was like, you always motivate me in such a gentle way and I find it very inspiring. And I was like, stop. The way even with the podcast, like in the last year, I've taken a break because yes, I lost the interviews, but also just being in my head about how I want the content to be. And I think that's such a natural thing for people and creatives. And sometimes you want something to be perfect, but it's not, or you're in your head a lot about something, or your insecurities pop up and you're like, how do I want things to go? And finding the courage to move through that. So I think him telling me that really eased my mind, and I'm like, I'm going to talk about this more later in the episode, but I always say being you is your superpower, and being you includes your flaws, your insecurities, your strengths, your weaknesses, your good qualities, the things that make you you. everything about me in this example, everything about my life and things that I think and the things that I've experienced and the people I have encountered have all shaped who I am. And that's what's made me here. Like I usually tell I've always told one of my closest friends, never regret anything that made you smile, because that gave you happiness in that moment. Even if the friendship or the relationship or the situation may sour, I think life, we're always going through different phases and different moments and different things, and it's easy. If you have heard a bunch of previous episodes, if you've been here from the beginning, you know how much I had a hard time dealing with change. I think everybody does, but some people handle it easier than others. Some things are more triggering than other things. Sometimes you don't have the capacity or the bandwidth or the tools to help you maneuver that stage. And I think it's okay. But right now, where I am in life, I was just thinking about it this morning while I was having my cup of tea and injera that my mama made me. I was just thinking, wow, I feel like I'm living life with a plot. I feel like there have been times, not this year, but partly I'd say in the beginning of this year because I was sick. I started 2025 being sick, you guys. If you heard the last episode, you know this. But I was just like, what is life and why? Sometimes it's easy to question things and just wonder. But I think it's okay. And I'm grateful that I am in a space and era, hopefully forever, but I know that's not going to be the case, where I'm feeling very inspiring. And don't get me wrong, I do have things in my life that I'm huge things that I'm trying to focus on. For instance, your girl is homeless, ironically while starting to work for a homeless organization. And I'm scouring the town that I am going to go back to for a place to live, with rent, with the timing, with everything. And it's, as much as it's frustrating, I think the people around me not even the people around me. I think with me in the beginning, I was freaked out. And the week before, I was told, you can't stay with us anymore. I had this pit in my stomach and I was like, something feels off. And then that happened. I was like, of course this would happen. And I was like, okay, rephrase the brain. Let's figure out a solution into what's going to happen. And still working on my options. My mom and the people around me are like, you're going to be fine. I'm like, guys, I don't think you've experienced this before, but I'm excited. And then weirdly enough, today I have my first meeting, work meeting with the organization I'm working with, which is to do with homelessness. And it's for people aged 16 to 25. And I'm like, I am one of those people who is about to be homeless. But jokes aside, I know things will work out and things will be fine. When I first got that news, obviously I panicked the first day, but after that I was like, okay, I'm just going to live in the moment. Future me is going to deal with that. Future me being Monday me, and I'm so tempted to push my ticket because I don't even know. Part of me is just like, I'm doing everything online anyway. That's a side note. I'm still haven't come to a conclusion of what I want to do. And then the other part of me is like, I don't want to run away from, responsibility, but I will have to go back at some point. So we'll see. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Still figuring it out. But that aside, we all go through moments and things that derail us or make us difficulties. And I think there's beauty to that. When I was younger, before I had my whole mental mid-crisis in my early 20s, I used to feel like everything that I faced or went through or experienced made me stronger. The fact that I didn't live with my parents at a very young age, or the fact that I come from a divorcee family, the fact that I moved countries and nobody was explaining anything to me, living in a whole new town, which I don't regret. And now I look back and I think, I love that. And there's certain things, like for example, not living with my parents at a very young age. I'm so grateful I lived with my grandparents. I wouldn't trade that time for anything. And I think same thing with different people who didn't live with their parents or who don't even have parents. There's so many things in life that we all face and experience and do. And if you are religious, you believe everything. Okay, if you are religious or not religious, I think it's easy for people to tend to believe everything happens for a reason, or things are meant to be, and what's for you won't pass you, and what's not meant for you will go. And I think it's just a natural thing in life. Imagine how chaotic it would be to have people in your life, people in your life continuously, when people grow, change, evolve. A beautiful quote I absolutely love, top 3, I would say, favorite quote is, loving someone is witnessing 1,000 deaths of them, because your people are constantly changing and evolving and growing, and different things interest them at different times. And I think as a lover, it's as a lover girly, as a lover guy, as a lover person, it's easy to love people unconditionally and mourn different changes and different things. But I think sometimes you just have to go with the flow. I'm not even reading my notes right now. I'm like speaking from my heart. Sometimes you have to go with the flow. Sometimes you have to let people come in and go. A beautiful, beautiful theory that I love that's been circulating the internet recently is the let them go theory. Let them. Let people do what they want to do. You can't handcuff people and force them, even though it's cuffing season. It's not cuffing, although cuffing season's kind of passing. It's winter, but Valentine's is around the corner. That aside, I don't mean in the romantic element. You can't cuff people and like force them to love you and care for you. You can't force your parents or your siblings or people around you to love you. You have to love you. You have to prioritize your happiness and your joy. And yesterday, a friend of mine, someone's coming in the gate. That is a bit loud. Someone told me yesterday, they were like, hey, yesterday evening, what they say? That distracted me. Sugar. This is why I don't like recording in the day. All right. Someone mentioned how, what did they say? You have to prioritize your own happiness and you have to focus on you. And it's very easy to get caught up in other people, but genuinely, nobody is gonna want happiness for you more than you. And I've always discovered this different moments in my life where, for example, when I've mentally been in a dark place, I'm like, you have to love you. You have to want to change. You have to get out of that toxic relationship. You have to want better for yourself in different situations. Nobody, as much as people in my life wanted me to get out of a dark place while grieving, or like from a horrible breakup or different friendship breakups or whatever the situation is, and just questioning life, as much as the people around me wanted better for me, no one can do that for me except me, because the only relationship that you have forever is with you. And I think it's easy to fall into expectations of people in your life, whether it's society, religious, cultural. It's easy to feel this pressure and this need to be a certain way. And we all fall into that. I was just thinking this morning, if I didn't... okay, I'm just going to be authentic. I was thinking of holding back, but I was like, if I wasn't wearing the hijab, for instance, or if I wasn't doing this or do certain things that, like, for example, I really want to get a tattoo. If I get a tattoo, my religion is against that. It's just thinking things that I want to do and things that society and culture and different things want you to do. How would life be? And I think it's finding the balance of living your life authentically and doing things that feel right to you. Complete side note, I was talking to someone in my life, someone close to me, about the concept of virginity. And I know, disclaimer, it's different for different people, and we were just talking about how with some people they get identity crisis when they lose it, because they're like, they wanted to wait for marriage or different things, and this does tie into societal norms. And with other people, it's very much so wanting it to be with someone they trust and they feel comfortable with. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's part of the societal norms and the pressures that people feel. I'm trying to caveat, but that's just an example I wanted to throw in there. I think do what makes you comfortable. And with that, I was like telling this person in my life, I was like, listen, it's different for different people. And as you grow up and experience different things, like she was like, this person was the person in my life was telling me, when you, like, for example, if I shave my hair, which is another thing I want to do, like, would 30-year-old want 24-year-old you to do that? And I was like, 24-year-old me wants this, and she's wanted this since she's 14, so what am I supposed to do? I kind of want to do it. And it's just doing what makes you happy, and going with the flow, and weighing up the options. And genuinely, there's always a way out. I reposted this on my TikTok the other day. I am so happy with myself that I haven't been on socials as much. And today I found myself doom scrolling, and I was like, what the hell is this? Get off the app. But it's easy to find yourself in situations like, the TikTok basically said, what did it say? There's always a way out. There's always an option. I'll find it and link it down below. Maybe not today, or like after I've uploaded it. Come have a look and you'll find all the links down below. But I think it's very important to go with the flow. A huge part of my life that brings me joy is living spontaneously. And I'm so proud to say this year and last year, January 2025, I have lived life for the plot. I did that I put myself out there in so many ways, and in all aspects. I'm not even kidding. I met new people. I went to my first solo event as a creator. I booked a few more guests on the podcast, and I've just been experiencing life and living, because life is too short. I think I find myself so many times caught up in expectations that people don't even put on me, okay? Just caught up in the confines of society and stuff. And I think you just need to live. Like the other day I came home a little bit late, and my brother, freaking idiot, slept with the keys in his pocket, and I'm ringing him. His phone is off. I called my parents, both their phones are off because they're asleep. I had to jump the freaking gate, okay? And I called my aunt, and I was like, yeah, I had to do that. And she was like, you and your bum and your hips and your tummy? I said, yes. The whole of me jumped the gate. And I was looking around thinking, in the place where we live, there's a few cameras outside, and there is a camera outside our house. I was like, oh my God, if my parents watch this, they're gonna think, what the hell is up with our firstborn and our only daughter? She's moving mad. But so the next day when my mom was like, I haven't locked the gate. I put the keys here for you, just so you know. I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. But live life authentically. Live life and just be. I think there's so many things to experience, and there's so many aspects of life to do. And I'm going to have to wrap up the episode here, with I feel like continuing to ramble. But you ought to know, my beautiful alien, that there is only one life you live on this universe. You don't get two chances. There's no take backsies. You have to stop overthinking and stop stressing and stop focusing on the negativity, and just be and live. And if you are living, live more authentically. Do things that excite you. I am so happy. I'm in this phase and moment in my life where I'm level-headed, and I don't know whether something is going to trigger me or something's going to change, getting those negative words out of my mouth. But I'm happy to be in a headspace where I'm excited about things. I'm living more authentically. I'm being just in the moment, and it feels very good, very exciting, very rejuvenating, very great. So I'm wishing you the same. I'm gonna try sending you love as always, and I'm catch me on the Patreon for some exciting things. I am gonna try and find the song that I really like. It's called You Ought to Know. No, it's called It's You by Henry. And sing it to you guys before I leave. So today, while I search this up, let me tell you what the plans. I have to go to the gym after this, and it's gonna have to be a quick workout. And then after that, I'm going to record a podcast with a guest. It's a re-record because I lost the episodes. Then I'm gonna go to I have my meeting. And then after that, I'm gonna see her perform live. She's a poet. And then after that, I'm gonna come home and chill. But I'm getting a bit nervous because I feel like I'm running short on time. Okay, I found the song. Let me see if it's gonna play. Although I prefer the live version. What is that sound? My beautiful aliens, it's literally not playing. So I'm gonna do it downstairs and add the clip because there's so much noise. There's aeroplanes, there's motorbikes, there's all this stuff happening, and the connection's a bit weak. But I will catch you guys in a bit. Bye.
But I sung a song for a drama, a very famous drama. Okay. Oh, just how I feel. I wish I was holding
You by my side.
진짜 이쁘다 이렇게 하니까.
I wouldn't change a thing, cause finally it's real. Trying to hold back.
You ought to know that.
You're the one
Okay.
that's on my
What is happening? Okay, for copyright reasons, I'm gonna stop the episode just like the video there, but I'm gonna link it down below. I hope you enjoyed this quick Authentic Rambles episode. I don't feel, part of me feels like it could be better, but hey, I am getting back into my perfectionist tendencies, and we're not here for that. So enjoy this episode. Look forward to next week's episode. If you are part of the Patreon, it's gonna be coming out on Sunday, a few days before the rest of the beautiful aliens will listen. All right, bye.